Hello, I'm Jordan and you're not, and these are my thoughts on Jamie Lee Curtis returning to Halloween 2018. So, I don't know how long this video is going to be, so I'm just going to run with it. But before I get to anything, I need to talk about a brief history of this upcoming movie. So, a couple of years back, it was going to be called Halloween Returns, and it was going to be a completely different story. It was going to have uh, Deputy Hunt from Halloween 2 coming back, and something about Michael Myers being on death row and having him escape or something, and I don't know. So, but now Blumhouse has bought the rights, and it's going to switch back to Universal, which was, Halloween 2 and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch were produced by Universal back in, 81 and 82. But there was a controversy a couple years back that they released Halloween 2 on Blu-ray, and the opening, when they showed Mustafa Akkad's name, they blacked it out and they put like a Universal picture presents, just completely erasing Mustafa Akkad just because he had a Muslim name or something. That's offensive, especially to Halloween fans. Mustafa Akkad is one of the the key components or composers of the Halloween series. You got Mustafa Akkad, John Carpenter, and Irwin Yablans, Rick Rosenthal, Rob Zombie, all these names that you associate with Halloween, and to just erase his name like he means nothing to you, that's stupid. Oh, and also, there's they announced that John Carpenter was going to be involved with this new Halloween film. He said, for the longest time, John Carpenter, he did not want to be involved in any of the Halloween sequels at all. Like, he barely wanted to do 2, and he kind of had a smidge to do with Halloween 3, but since that was universally panned at the time, everyone hated it for whatever reason, I don't know. Nowadays, Halloween 3 is great. It's a cult classic, and everyone loves Halloween 3. But, yeah, but then after 4 onward, he divorced himself from the series. But somehow, Danny McBride from Land of the Lost and that Eastbound and Down show, that kind of redneck looking guy, and Seth Gordon Green, I think that's his name, or I'm pretty sure. Hopefully, I'm right. They got John Carpenter to come back for this new Halloween film, so it has to be really good then, for him to be an executive producer and for him to maybe actually do the music, like how he did music for the original Halloween, well, Halloween 2 and 3. You can tell Halloween 3 and Christine, which is another John Carpenter movie, they have the same kind of music to it, and you can tell it's totally John Carpenter. Oh, and The Thing. And that's another thing. Get it? Another thing, they're calling this new Halloween, so far the title is just Halloween for next year. And I mean, if it's supposed to be a kind of a sequel and that takes place in this universe, well, they should at least give it a number or a cool subtitle or something, like call it Halloween Returns, like how it was originally going to be called, not just Halloween. It's like doing the Thing and then making a prequel called The Thing, or making a Flatliners sequel / remake and just calling it Flatliners. It gets really confusing. I don't know. So last year, I don't know if it was last year or the year before, I got in this really stupid argument with this guy on Facebook. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to stir the pot like Harvey Korman in the Star Wars Holiday Special. Whip, stir. Yeah, you should check out the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's better than all the prequels combined. So here I was just expressing my excitement for the new Halloween movie and that John Carpenter was going to come back. I probably mentioned this before, but just in case you haven't seen it, I'm going to mention it again, because it's so incredibly redonkulous that I just have to mention it. So, so there I was, just expressing my excitement for the new Halloween movie. I just posted a link about it on my Facebook, and here this cracker comes in who's all, they're going to just bring John Carpenter back just to milk on his name. And then I said, oh, that's a pretty cool. Then, you sound like a Trump supporter. You need to think about the politics of this series. And I was, And I was like, what does politics have to do with Halloween? I'm just trying to hear. I'm just trying to express my side. No, it's all about politics. You obviously a Trump supporter. Yeah. And he goes on and on about Trump. And like, what the hell does Trump have to do with Halloween? The Halloween series. I mean, yeah, he has an orange face and he looks like a pumpkin. That's the only thing I can think of. Trumpkin. Hashtag Trumpkin. That's the only thing I can make of any sense out of it. And he goes on, and I'm just arguing why, I like the Halloween movies, and he blocks me. So therefore, I win. In your face. I will never let that go ever. No one, if anyone screws with me with my Halloween, I'm gonna shut that shit down. No exceptions. Especially when it comes to Halloween 3. Halloween 3 is bae. Not bae meaning poop. I mean, bae meaning love. Alright. So we have 10 Halloween movies. Jamie Lee Curtis is a part of 1, 2, 3. Oh. And Halloween Resurrection. Well, H2O. Actually, next year it's going to be 20 years since H2O came out. So this is... I'm old. I saw Halloween H2O when I was 8 in the theater. I'll never forget. I kind of forgot though, actually. So my dad, who recently passed away, he said he remembers that scene when Michael Myers is like holding on to like the pipe or the ledge when he comes down and he tries to attack Laurie. He said that I thought that was cool, that he was like holding on to that. I think I do remember that though, by the way. So yeah, I was that kid who dragged his parents to see all these horror movies: Halloween H2O. Valentine, Bride of Chucky, Scream 3, The Blair Witch Project. That's all I can think of right now. I'm sure there was a lot more. Yeah, that's how I rolled. So, and then in Halloween H2O, we saw that Michael got his head cut off. And then a couple of years later, 2002, I was 12, they talk about doing Halloween Resurrection. And I was like, what? How can they do that? They cut Michael Myers' head off. And I was like studying every inch of the end of H2O, trying to figure out just how Michael Myers could come back. I was thinking some kind of witch doctor was going to get him and like sew his head back on and perform some kind of ritual exorcism. But alas, they just kind of go back and show that he switched suits with some other random guy that we didn't even see. And then, in the first 15 minutes of Resurrection, they kill off Laurie Strode. The one thing that was keeping me going was that, when I saw Halloween Resurrection in the theater, I was thinking to myself, oh, Laurie's going to come back in the last 5 minutes and save everybody. I was wrong. But 15 years later, 2017, I was right. Laurie Strode is coming back. So I finally got my wish, and it only took a measly short 15 years of my life. During that time, we had Rob Zombie's Halloween and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, about a white horse and some white trash cussing, and Sherry Moon Zombie stripping. So, they say this new Halloween is going to go in another direction, different than H2O. Like, we have pretty much already 3 Halloween 3s. We have, of course, Halloween 3, this classic that everyone loves. We have Halloween 4, which is basically a sequel to Halloween 2, which, in a way, since Dr. Chalice saved all the kids at the end of Halloween 3, they could do Halloween 4. Thank you, Dr. Chalice. And then Resurrection, which is the new 3. So, there's any different direction you could go. Here, let me illustrate. Imagine, if you will, that this line represents time, or the timeline of Halloween. And Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and Halloween 3. 1, 2, 3 are in that order. Then you got 4, 5, 6, which are its own thing, apparently. And then you have H2O and Resurrection. Now, somewhere in the past, it's skewed off into this tangent, creating an alternate Halloween 2018. An alternate world in which Halloween's Resurrection, or Halloween H2O and Resurrection do not happen. So that was just a waste of time. So they had this big old thing about bringing Jamie Lee Curtis back, and they're just going to basically ignore it, pretty much, from what I've heard. So now it's Halloween 1, 2, and this new one that's coming out next year. Or I've heard it say that it could just be Halloween 1 and this one. Pretty much showing that Halloween 2 doesn't exist. So, in my opinion, Halloween 2 was one of the greatest horror sequels I have ever seen in my life. I love it for the fact that it takes place right after the first Halloween ends. That's hardly ever been done in any sequel ever. To just continue the whole movie like that night, like a second later. I love that shit. I mean, and they're gonna maybe ignore that? I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely going to see the Halloween movie next year, just to prove that I'm not a Trump supporter to that random guy on my Facebook calling me that. But that has nothing to do with anything revolving to Trump. I'm just a big Halloween fan. Look at my tattoo! So, in other words, yes, I'm pretty darn excited that Jamie Lee Curtis is returning to Halloween as Laurie Strode. I mean, there's no telling what they're going to do. If they're going to have it be after the first one, have it be she was just some random babysitter that just went up to his house, dropped a key off, and he was like, "Huh, who's this bitch? I'm going to stalk her for the rest of my life." Or it could be that she's the sister that's been mentioned in Halloween 2. Or they could have it take place after H2O. She did cut his head off, and then they add another, whatever reason that brings him back. Or they could make Halloween Resurrection canon also, and have it be that she did in fact get stabbed by Michael Myers, and she fell to her death, and she survived. Maybe someone found her and got her and saved her, and she's okay now. And they figure, oh, this girl, Laurie Strode, is innocent, so we're just going to let her go free. How exactly could this happen? There has to be like a parallel universe in here somewhere. I have a couple of fan theories. One, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is canon to the Halloween series, which means that when Carl Cochran had his plan to have the 8 more days to Halloween, Silver Shamrock, when that went off and Dr. Chalice was trying to save all the kids, and then the blinking pumpkin that somehow like lightning, maybe lightning struck or something, and that sent everyone into an alternate universe, a universe in which only 1 and 2 and this 2018 will happen. Or let's see, the Thorn cult, maybe Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers, the producer's cut could still be canon, meaning 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 could still happen, and maybe somehow their satanic cult, the Thorn cult or whatever they were in the ruins, the rocks. Maybe it's connected to Stonehenge from Halloween 3. Also, that's another thing. There's a Mrs. Blankenship in Halloween 6, and there's a Mrs. Blankenship mentioned in Halloween 3. So maybe Mrs. Blankenship was going to convert Harry Grimbridge to the Thorn cult, and they were going to somehow convert him, and then they were going to get this Jamie Lloyd, Michael incest Game of Thrones baby, and somehow he caused a stir in that, and that coincided with the alternate timeline and making 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, part of this new Halloween 2018 world. Or the white horse from Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 has so much power in it that it uses its magical horse juice and shot it at Michael, and that took him back to 1978, and that's why we were able to see the original Halloween played in Halloween 3, which still makes it canon to the Halloween series. I'm just making up crap now. This is what Halloween fans actually believe. So, Halloween 1, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, and Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 could be predecessors to Halloween 2018. Making 2 Laurie Strodes in an alternate parallel universe. Does everybody understand? I have a headache. My brain is going to explode. It's just going to shoot pumpkin spice everywhere. I guess that's about it. Unless you can think of anything that has maybe Halloween 5 could have anything to do with being canon to the other Halloween series, of this new set of Halloween movies that they're going to do. So, I guess there's no telling what they're going to do with Laurie Strode. Maybe she'll have another son or another daughter. Maybe she'll have some kind of transgendered offspring hybrid thing. I don't know. It's 2017. I'm going on 2018 now. Anything's possible. I don't know if she'll have a husband or a wife, or maybe she's still babysitting. Or do you think Laurie Strode ever got paid for babysitting Tommy Doyle that night? Did she get paid overtime? I need to know. These are the questions that's been bothering me since I was 8 years old. That's like a big chunk of my life. Okay. I guess that's about it. I hope everyone's enjoyed watching my video. I hope you support the new Halloween movie. I definitely am, and I'm looking forward to any kind of news that's going to be brought out about this new Halloween movie. And I hope they do it right. And I hope Danny McBride, redneck guy from Land of the Lost, I hope he pays tribute to the original movie. I hope they respect the original source material. And I hope that they have fun with it. I hope it's a fun Halloween movie like some of the other ones. But Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, it was so mean-spirited, by the way. I saw that movie 3 times in the theater, and I still had mixed feelings about it. Okay. So I'm filming this on my tablet, so instead of my other camera, just to see how this does. Hopefully I'll be able to upload it. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.